What is up? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am hanging out with the snug lifer herself, Andria Lightfoot, coming to a SimpleNexus. Ladies and gentlemen, you know when Andrea and I get together, if you've ever seen the energy that exudes from this show when Andrea and I are hanging out, you're about to have an incredible show. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're talking about snug. We're talking about millennials supercharging the housing market. We're talking about 2022 and all of its glory and how you can start being prepared for it. The homeownership journey, a new journey is beginning for all of us, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be an amazing year. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Come shred with Andrea and I. Andrea, I need to change that introduction and have you on that intro. I was just thinking, I'm like, I don't have Andrea on that one. We need to edit that.
No. You got a lot of good heavy hitters there. Matt Hansen, the OG co-founder, as well as Ben Miller, and then Kathleen Schreiner Gates, our fearless leader and CEO. That's a good group.
It is a good, it's so funny. Whoa. I just had, we still here. My computer. I've had so many tech issues this morning. I don't know what it is, but that interview with Matt has to be one of my best interviews of all time. Like just sitting there at, SimpleNexus's headquarters. If you ever know Matt's just Matt is one of the best guys in the entire world, but he gets so nervous with this type of stuff. He gets but it was just so fun to kind of get to know him on such a deep level. It was a lot. It was a good interview, but we're talking today. I'm so excited to have you on the show. Every time you and I get on the show, there's value, there's energy, there's so many things that you and I can talk about. And I'm really excited because SimpleNexus has made some really big moves recently. I mean, really big moves as of late. I mean, the acquisition of LBAware, which so many people, I'll be honest, when that went down, it was kind of around the time of the NBA, and a lot of people were questioning, they're like, what, why? This doesn't make sense. And I'm like, it does make sense. If you really think about it, we're continuing to simplify, continuing to streamline the homeownership journey. I mean, tell us a little bit about your thought. I mean, you've been part of the SimpleNexus group for a while now. This just makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. And for those that know Lori Brewer, I mean, if Matt Hansen is right there, Lori Brewer with her skill set, her programming background, I mean, she's one of those super genius thought leaders in our industry as well. And for us, it was absolute hand in glove when you talk about a loan officer toolkit to maximize your value and the power of the platform itself. Now, remember, I just want to be clear as we're talking today, SimpleNexus, for maybe your first time, long time listener, first time caller, point of sale stands for POS. What's a POS? Not SimpleNexus. Okay. So when we talk about this product, it is going to be the home ownership journey. It is the power of the platform. And when we look across that ecosystem of the value we want to drive for originators and lenders, keeping you connected also means comp, that comp and safe piece. We have some, financial goals that we're all trying to hit there. Let's be honest, right? It's not all just for bleeding heart. We want to help people get into homes. We want affordable housing and new home ownership formation. But at the end of the day, we got to make some money. And so when you look at, a year like the last 2 years where revenues have been just through the roof, the thing that makes the biggest difference is being able to draw in what is your cost loans per FTE. How can you maximize and be more efficient with how you're spending your money on your tech spend? Lori's already got that. She's a well-known commodity in that product with Comp and Safe. And so we're just placing that in the bag. We got a sales engine that's happy and ready to take that product off the shelf and put it right into your hands with the SimpleNexus suite.
Well, and that's just it. Every time we talk SimpleNexus, whether it's you, Ben, whoever from the team, that's what SimpleNexus is creating. It is creating this absolute perfect tool where it's everything. From this, you can use this little device from A to Z, and you can continue to be more and more efficient with it. It's not just like, okay, well, I've got this part of it. That's why LBAware, like you said, and sharing little bits and pieces of it. We're going to have Lori on the show soon, guys. You're going to have to stay tuned and listen because, like you said, she's brilliant. If you've never talked to Lori, if you've never seen her, she is so smart. And she's going to be sharing a little bit about what she brings to the team as well. But it really does. You guys are continuing to build this ecosystem for mortgage professionals. Again, we're talking about 2022 goal setting, making it an even better year. The last 2 years have been awesome. Next year, you're going to have to work a little harder. You're going to have to be a little bit more efficient. You're going to have to be a little more streamlined. And that's exactly the goal of bringing these additional products into the SimpleNexus ecosystem.
Well, and teaser hot off the press. You mentioned it. Wall Street Journal just said today, CoreLogic has already posted 2021 stats that we have 67% of new household formation millennials in the house. As a geriatric millennials, look, this is, full disclosure. Geriatric millennials were out there buying houses. We didn't all want to just rent. We saw the value and we wanted to actually have wealth in our future, want to retire, want to be financially independent. And so the best way to form generational wealth is always through home ownership. These stats that are getting posted today, 37% of your repeat business last year, even in the boom, came from millennials. Crazy. They're talking about it like it's a boomer 2.0. Okay. And it's because it's not just, upgrade on the tech stack here. We're talking about the total number of household formations that are potential here, like through the roof. Just the potential for next year in the purchase market. You got to keep your eye on what is that tech strategy going into 22.
Well, this is such a big part of it. And this in particular, I hadn't seen this. You shared this with me. We're sharing this with all of you. And it really, these numbers speak for themselves, Andrea. Like, it's just like, holy cow. Millennials like me and yourself, like, we're just like, we want to accumulate wealth. We want to know how we can continue to better ourselves. And we as mortgage professionals, all you mortgage professionals listening, you need to start looking at these numbers. You need to start understanding where these trends are. So many people, I know you heard it as well as I did. They're like, millennials, they're living with their parents these days. No, they're not buying homes. They want to rent. And it's like, no, they don't. Like, this is absolutely could not be further from the truth. And the number, like I said, the numbers speak for themselves. So how are you looking to create that homeowner journey? How are you helping, whether they're a first-time home buyer, whether they're a repeat home buyer, how are you helping simplify that journey, make that journey an enjoyable experience? And that's what SimpleNexus's goal. That's what you guys have set out to completely do.
Absolutely. And as a mobile-first company, which means we're not just on a web responsive design, we actually are a mobile application that sits on your phone. We're keeping the loan officers out of your inbox, and we're actually putting you right in their back pocket. And that is so true for so many of us that first thing in the morning, I'd like to say you wake up and say good morning to your partner. You're checking the news feed, right? When we're in meetings, we're making sure that Candy Crush alert is not, getting too far gone down the road. But this is really the power of the platform right here is the mobile app.
But that's what everybody cares. And we all know if you don't have this thing on you, we feel naked. We're like, oh no, my life's shutting down. I don't have this. What better way to be able to communicate with millennials, with home buyers? Even the baby boomers are using this. My parents, they are all about their phone these days. So the fact that SimpleNexus understands and sees where that trend is going. This isn't just a trend. This is the future of everything mortgage. And we see it from the data. So it just makes sense to have it. I remember back in the day when I first started originating, this ages me, but back when I first started doing I still had a flip phone back then, but we never used it other than making a few calls. Our mobile device wasn't it. Everything is on here now, Andrea. The entire process, like you said, the SimpleNexus, it just simplifies it. Everybody uses their phone anyway. It just makes sense. And going into 2022, you have to have a mobile solution. People want that.
And that's great because when we're talking about our user group conference, if you don't know, now you know. SimpleNexus user group, that's the snug. We're snug for life over here at SimpleNexus. And Snowbird powder, Utah's the best powder on earth. I know you know this, Josh.
I do.
I knew it. I lived in Utah, so come on out and join us. We have our snug event happening February 28th through March 3rd. This is going to be 3 jam-packed days plus spa days, time off, a little rest and rejuvenation. So you're going to get a lot of new learning and access to the executive team at SimpleNexus and other mortgage executives who will be running thought leadership sessions, as well as one-on-ones with you as a lender to optimize workflow, tech stack, how you're thinking about your A game going into 22.
100%, guys. This is why I love having Andrea on the show. Did you see how smooth she made that transition? This is my job of part of it. She's just boom, 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 boom. When you have somebody
I'm so stoked. When you were like, hey, this is what it was like for me. Just full disclosure. I mean, we used to hire couriers to go to the VA. I mean, there wasn't ACE online. The COE was a piece of paper. You'd send somebody out, and for $75, they'd get on their bike and bring it back.
Bring it back to you.
Right. So when I'm sitting here talking about, hey, how do we elevate? I think so many of us were like, we're doing pretty good, right? When the money's coming in and we're trying to hit those volume numbers, it's incredibly hard to change the tires on that moving 90-mile-an-hour car. So that was totally a fair, thing last year, 2020. Going into 22, this is the dark horse here. You want to come and get those industry insights from economists. We have marketing guides. We have things for closing, things for MERS, things from legal, anything that you can think of around fair lending. It's going to get covered here at the Snug event. And it's right before the conference season gets going. So it's a great way to kick off kind of your new learning for 22.
Oh, it's an incredible way. And by the way, you mentioned snowbird, you mentioned snow. Guys, snowbird, I got a powder alert this morning, got like 13 inches of snow this morning. Like I look, if I can show you out my window, go check out my Instagram stories. We got a ton of snow here in Utah. So we are just prepping. We're 74 days away. You can see the countdown calendar happening right here. It's just, I mean this, I've been to Snug the last few years. And it is, except for last year, of course it wasn't, but I'm excited to be back in person. There is no other event like Snug. And again, the setting up at Snowbird is absolutely incredible. It's beautiful. Oh, see, there you go. Crane just mentioned it. Snug plus Snowbird. That was great. Can't miss this conference. You don't want to miss this, but you mentioned something, Andrea, and I mean this. I go to conferences all year. So do you. From MBA, LMA, like there's tons of events that you and I go to. Snug takes it to a completely new level. And I mean that by the collaboration, the conversations, the just being able to talk with other incredible leaders from around the industry. It's a more intimate setting. There's not thousands of people. It's like I said, it's a little bit more intimate. You're able to be part of really, really deep discussions about, hey, this is what's happening. Here's how to utilize it. Here's how to streamline the process. And the actual like execution of ideas that happen at Snug, Andrea, is literally, there's no comparison of events. And that's why I get so excited for it. It's just because you see everybody like, yes, hey, what about this? We're going to try this. And then you have, like you said, the leadership from SimpleNexus and from around the industry. It's just literally, it's an incredible event.
Okay, so everybody pause because this is a shred moment here with Josh, right? Like you're lifting your weights, you're at your desk. I want you to just like actually stop what you're doing. Make sure the dog has a treat. They're not barking in the background. This is super critical. When you come to Snug, when we say elevate, let's all take a moment and understand what elevate actually means. For those who haven't been at 11,000 feet at the top of the summit, when you elevate, you break through those clouds. You are taking a minute to take a step back and go, okay, I've been in the trenches. I've been heads down getting it done. But how do we get to the next summit? That's really our goal for you when you come to Snug. And so $100 million producers that you have on this show that we talk to at conferences that come through mastermind clinics and things like that. These are the folks that say, take the time to pause, stop and listen, and really reflect on how am I going to break through the clouds? Maybe you're a $20 million producer. You're trying to get to 50. Maybe you're 50 and you want to double that. We have a platform that can help you get you there. If you're not afraid of adopting new technology, if you need help learning how to understand what's out there, you don't have to be super techie. We are a set it and forget it platform, right? We are turnkey, bring it to you. We're going to help you whether you're a 10 LO shop, whether you're a 1,000 LO shop. This conference connects those people in those intimate settings. I love the way you said that, Josh. I'm gonna rebrand that for you. That's a shred moment right there.
Shred moment, right? See that? Me and Andrew, we just feed so well. We have so much fun with this. Crane just shared it in the comments right here. You can see the SimpleNexus, the Snug. I just love the word Snug. I could use Snug. It's just like.
Get your shirts too.
Don't forget. I say the Snug Life.
Snug Life.
I say literally SimpleNexus has the best shirts from around the industry. My favorite is still I have friends in low places in LO. That's one of my favorites of all time. Probably because me and Courtney sang that song down in NBA a few years ago. Anyway, I digress. So first session, opening keynote, elevate the homeownership journey. Like Andrew, this just sets precedence for the entire, that's what this is all about. It's all about helping the consumers, about helping that homeownership journey. Like you said, we showed the numbers from the Wall Street Journal. People are buying homes. Going into 2022, the purchase market could not be more competitive, could not be more fierce, and you need to start elevating yourself to say, hey, what do I need? Like you said, Andrew, what do I need to go from 25 to 50, 50 to 100, or whatever up and above? Maybe you're just going from 10 to 20. Maybe you're really trying to break into it. Surrounding yourself with the leadership and the people that are going to be at Snug, there is no better place. Plus, like I said, the setting at Snowbird just makes it absolutely incredible. Look at this. And like I said, Creighton has he's posted the link below. You guys can actually see if you want to go check it out and see in more detail. It is going to be 3 days of absolutely brilliant conversations. I have to ask it. I know you've looked through this. Is there anything in particular, Andrea? I know there's so much to be excited for. Is there a session in particular that you're like, ooh, this is gonna be a good one?
Okay, so two things. One thing is our North Star here at SimpleNexus. Yeah. Mine in particular, it's why I love working here at SimpleNexus, is we talk about being at the heart of the homeownership journey. You'll see probably 4 or 5 different things around engagement, strategy, marketing, your comp and save. How are you making sure that money, that bringing home the bacon, money's coming through the door? These are value-added features because when you talk about heart of the homeownership journey, it's not just like a trite branding thing. Okay. I want to be really clear about this. People have seen it. I get a joke when I go out to conferences. They think I get like a promo tag for every time I say heart of homeownership. Heart of the homeownership journey is because we have over 1,000 years of mortgage experience at SimpleNexus.
Jeez.
In that team. Think product, engineering, customer team, sales team. This is a team that is deep in the mortgage vertical. They have sat in your seat. They have originated loans. They have actually run shops that you might have worked at, actually. And so when we're looking at being at the heart, that means being at the center of everything your customer needs, from that point of thought. They're out with the realtor's trying to co-brand with you. They're trying to bring in business and synergize, all the way through the last experience. So when you see e-closing and you say to yourself, I don't know, I mean, I got to bring more loans in the door in 22. Here's your food for thought on your snug agenda. When you want to deliver value to a client, you got 2 moments of truth, truly. Let's be honest. First touch, first impression. They met you at an open house. Somebody brought you in. It was the first call. It was the first time you email, whatever that first touch was. I think loan officers are pretty good at knowing how to do a first touch.
Sure.
How many of us, especially in sales and origination, stop and take a moment to think about the last touch on the deal? The
100%.
last time they experienced your brand was at closing. Do you have a 15-minute close strategy? Do you have a paperless close strategy? Do you have something that's going to differentiate you more than maybe, I don't know, a bottle of wine that you send to the house? Look, everybody can send a bottle of wine to the house after I close a deal. That's not something that's going to be memorable to me about that moment of truth, that Disney World experience, right? You want people to have the warm fuzzies about what that was. For us, that is e-closing. So when you see e-close, I'm calling it out. Don't sleep on that if you're in sales, okay? This is your last opportunity to make yourself the lender for life for this customer. That's the homeownership journey.
That is. So many people rest on the e-closing. They're like, oh, it's a buzzword in this industry. Sometimes it's the shiny object. We're always like, oh, e-close. And there's been so much talk about it. We kind of gloss over. We're like, oh yeah, of course, e-close. But it's a game changer. It is what is going to, I talk, people got to know I'm all about the metaverse. I'm all about the world, this digital world that's being created. The e-close is just the beginning of that, ladies and gentlemen. Just to start to wrap your head around this. So I'm excited for a lot. There's a lot of e-close that's going to be talked about. This session in particular, when you guys released the agenda, I don't know whoever titled this. I know the incredible team. Buy Refi Playbook for Purchase Market Domination. Not just like, hey, you want to do well in the purchase market? Come join this. This is purchase market domination, ladies and gentlemen. You have to set yourself apart. Like you're saying, Andrea, how are you working with realtors? How are you creating more value? This session in particular, I am so excited for, because all you originators out there, you have to step it up. You have to elevate your businesses next year, and purchase market domination is no question. The refis rates are starting to climb. Everybody's refi. Now you got to focus on this. And this session in particular, when I saw it, Andrea, I'm like, oh, this is so key. See, but this just speaks to the entire SimpleNexus team. Sometimes as fintech companies, sometimes as tech companies, you kind of get the reputation of like, oh, they're so focused on tech. They're so focused on, they don't understand the issues that I'm going through as an originator. You guys do. Like you said, the 1,000+ years you guys have of origination experience, it just sets you guys apart. Having this value and the discussions that are happening, sometimes you go to conferences and it's just like, well, there's this about this product and this product pitch, but this is actual value for originators and executives, everybody in the mortgage industry. No matter your role, you will walk away better. You will walk away elevated from this conference.
Yeah. And let's just go by the stats. Okay. These are vanity stats, but they're meaningful. 1 in 7 loans in the United States came through the SimpleNexus platform. We have, 35 of the top 100 customers. We have over 42,000 active originators. Chances are, if you're not an existing SimpleNexus customer using the power of the platform, you're competing against one right now. That's how deep this is. So 4 million disclosures already plus delivered year to date. And we're heading towards 500 billion plus of volume. We're marching to that towards the end of the year. Look, it's been a great year for you. It's been a great year for us. The products that we want to talk about that are coming out are things that are going to continue to help loan officers stay kind of as the layer on top of any of their core technology. Back office shop, great. Keeping your loan origination systems. We want to help you throughout your own loan officer journey as you're originating, as you're co-branding, as you're out there working the deals, so that you're not just stuck, tied to a laptop every time you need to send a pre-qual letter, anytime you need to make a referral. The virality of SimpleNexus is really about when you're asleep, when you're not at your desk, when you're not working, your borrowers can actually refer you. 11% more referrals coming from borrowers across the platform. How many of you would like more referrals next year? Well, come to Snug. We can help you with that.
I was going to say, we're going to help you with it. There's so much that you're going to walking away from this. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, you're going to be like fed through a fire hose. But this is what's cool about it is because we go deeper, we actually explain things. We're laying it out for you. It's not just like, hey, here's all this information. Good luck. Go try to execute on it. It's like, hey, let's really break this down. Let's set these goals. Let's really have some accountability here. That's what's really different about this conference. That's what's different about this event. Plus, check out all the people who are going to be. Check out just a list of the sponsors.
Yeah.
There's just so many great companies here. And like you said, the entire ecosystem here, you look at something from Black Knight to Notarize, Form Free, like Factual Day, Sales Boomerang. There's so many companies that are going to be there. And like you said, the leaders of the industry, they're going to be there. The discussions are going to be happening. Guys, I just can't say it enough. Like, you want to go register for this event. You only have, 74 days left. You want to go register. You want to be part of it. Andrew, as we start to wrap it up, I want to be respectful of your time. Guys, thanks for being here. Guys, if you're just joining us, comment #snug. I want to see you all there. I promise you. I'm going to be there. Andrew's going to be there. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to be rocking the Snug Life t-shirts. But Andrea, going into 2022, we've talked a little bit about goals. We've talked about planning. Do you have any personal goals that you're excited for this next year?
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. In this business, all the goals are personal, right?
Oh, yeah. That's so true.
Think about it. What you do in your personal life, what you do in business, you are the brand. And so I think that's absolutely true here at SimpleNexus. We understand that vertical. And so, I think about the perspiration that we all are putting into persist right now to just keep it going. I like to use this acronym AIR, especially when we're talking about elevate, because it prevents burnout. So if you're feeling a little worn down, if you've been working a lot of weekends, a lot of nights, for me going into next year, it's about creating something that's more meaningful in the direction of change, as opposed to just more change. Okay. And that's what we want to do for you in your book of business too, is it's not just more. Here's one more tech tool, one more process change that I have to memorize or introduce to my team. Instead, it's really about, is it aspirational? That's the A. Oof. Do I feel like I have something that it's Babe Ruth, I'm shooting out. I'm going to point and I'm going to say, there it is. I'm swinging for the fences. And to get there, inspirational, the way I'm talking, when I'm having exchanges, whether it's with my team, whether it's with external referral partners, friends, family, in your personal life, and again, business, personal, there's no difference for me. So is it inspirational? Because that's going to energize me to keep it going and persist. And the last is rejuvenating. If the pandemic has taught me anything, you got to take the time. If you're doing 7 days a week, right? 24 hours a day, it's not sustainable. You're not going to be around for your family. You're not going to have that long-term business, be the $100 million producer. So think about Air Jordan, right? Aspirational, inspirational, rejuvenating. To me, again, it's incremental change in the right direction is better than any other quantity of change I could do in 22.
Mic drop. Andrea's out. You're going to end on AIR. That is such a good acronym. Like, that is absolutely brilliant. I've got another acronym for AIR, but I love that. And that's just, Andrea, one of my goals is right along with what you're talking about is enjoying the journey. I know that sounds cliche, but sometimes we get so busy. And like these last few years, we've had so many things going on, but me and my wife talked about it. I'm like, you know what? You got to enjoy this journey. We're going to hit speed bumps. We're going to have obstacles, but you got to take a breath every single day, take a step back. We live pretty blessed lives, ladies and gentlemen. We are pretty fortunate to be in the industry that we are, to be surrounded by the friends, the people around us. So I love it. Andrea, guys, ladies and gentlemen, you just want to come hang out with me and Andrea. Nothing else.
Hey, come to Snug. We're there. Josh and I.
We're going to be chilling. We're going to be talking. We're going to be having a good time. We're going to be sharing value with you guys. Huge shout out to Andrea sharing all that she has, guys. If you want to register for Snug, we're going to put the link down below. You're not going to want to miss it. Plus, you have to stay tuned with what Andrea and I shared. It's just the beginning of what's simple. I mean, just the beginning of what's going on. The things that in 2022 that SimpleNexus will continue to achieve. It's going to be monumental. And Andrea and the entire team over at SimpleNexus continue to lead the way. Andrea, you're absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for being with me today and sharing all that you have. Guys, with that, happy holidays. Make sure you enjoy the time. Like I said, enjoy the journey. And if we can do anything for you, please reach out. Let us know. But as always, we appreciate you. We love you. Now it's time for all of you guys to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See ya.